welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. As always, guys, you can listen on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and now Patreon. I just added that last week, so it's a new venue for you to listen to the show. Any questions, comments, hit me up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Also find us on Twitter and on the Facebook group. I do a lot of stuff on the Facebook group. I post pictures, links, stuff like that. So it's a good place to check us out, guys. It is Monday morning. Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. I went and saw a couple movies this weekend on top of working all weekend. So pretty busy. I went and saw Battle of the Sexes on Thursday night, that new Emma Stone, Steve Carell movie. Great movie. I liked it. I think Steve Carell definitely has a Best Supporting Actor nomination coming up in the awards season. Emma Stone also did a good job, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Sarah Silverman gets a nomination for Best Supporting Actress. She was really good as well. Then, of course, the next day, I went and saw American Made, that new Tom Cruise movie by Doug Liman. Not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I actually looked back. I have not seen a Tom Cruise movie in theaters since 2006, which was Mission Impossible 3. Makes sense, because I hate that movie and all the Mission Impossible since. But pretty good movie. I enjoyed that one. And then Saturday, Lisa and I went to go check out Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Nice movie. I didn't like it as good as the first Kingsman. It was a little too far out there towards the end of the film. But overall, it was okay. If you're a fan of the first film, I definitely recommend checking it out. Otherwise, you might be able to skip it. But this weekend, coming up, we got Blade Runner 2049. Lisa and I already have plans to see the film on Friday. And given the fact that I go on vacation on Saturday, you can bet I'm going to have my review up for the film next weekend. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I was busy this weekend, like I said, guys, so I did not get a chance to check out the Inhumans premiere. I know I said I was going to possibly watch it with Lisa and then do a review. Didn't get a chance to do that, but I'm planning to do that tonight on top of watching the premiere of the new X-Men show on Fox, The Gifted. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to have both of those reviewed, and you can hear my thoughts on that tomorrow morning. So before I start off, guys, I want to talk a little bit about something. This morning, I woke up to a little bit of tragedy. I don't know how most of you are connected to the news, but it looks like there was a mass shooting in Las Vegas late last night at a music festival. Said that up to 50 people are dead. And then also, I saw on the news that there was a 17-year-old transgender teen that died in Missouri, looks like from a hate crime. And this stuff just makes me sad. It's terrible that this stuff happens. And as a guy who is big into the fantasy and superhero genre, it makes me sad that, there are not superheroes in real life that can help and prevent these terrible, terrible tragedies from happening. I don't know why people do the things they do in these instances, but all we can do now is come together, give our support to those who suffer this terrible tragedy, and just do our best to make sure it doesn't happen again. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of those in the teen in Missouri, and also to those of the victims of that terrible tragedy in Las Vegas, guys. Alright, so moving on to the show. Like I said, I don't have a lot because I was busy all weekend. So, like I said, the main thing I was going to do was the Inhumans review. Didn't get a chance to do that. So, I'm going to talk about today a little piece of news that came out last weekend or late last week. It looks like Sony Pictures is gearing up to do another Men in Black film. According to Deadline, Sony is going to expand on their original trilogy that starred Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Now, this is going to be separate from the talked about franchise merger with 21 Jump Street, MIB 23, that Jonah Hill admitted, quote, was too complicated in terms of the deal needed. The film is still in development, but Sony is setting aside the May 17, 2009 release date for possibly bringing this film to life. That date, as of right now, only has one other film on it, which is Keanu Reeves' John Wick Chapter 3. The first three Men in Black films were kind of big hits, I guess you could say. Definitely the first one was. It grossed $589 million worldwide in 1997, which is quite a bit of money for 1997. The 2002 sequel came up with $441 million, and then 10 years later, in 2012, we got MIB 3 that earned $642 million worldwide, despite a bit of trouble during the filming process. Barry Sonnenfeld directed all three pictures. He's also known for films such as The Addams Family, Wild Wild West with Will Smith, and RV. So several years ago, when the alleged Sony hack happened and all the Sony leaks came out about their projects they were talking about with Spider-Man and the Men in Black jumpsuit crossover, I thought that was so stupid. I think we even talked about it on the show about how Sony was planning to take their newest franchise, 21 Jump Street, which was a success. People really liked the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, and merge it with an alleged dying franchise, which was Men in Black. And I thought it was so stupid. These two franchises do not go together. They're totally different. Yeah, they're both comedies, so to speak, but they're two different worlds. I don't think it merged, and I'm glad to see that it did not happen. However, I am excited for more Men in Black. I remember when the first film came out, a lot of people thought of it as just kind of another Will Smith alien vehicle, because the year before that, in 96, was when Independence Day came out. So then 97 comes, and you got another Will Smith film coming out about aliens. Now, I remember seeing the original Men in Black in theaters back in 1997. I actually don't remember the first time I saw it. I remember the second time I saw it, which was a week later. So it came out July 4th weekend. I went and saw it, but the second time I saw it was a week later. It was actually my birthday, and my brother took me to go see it. And the reason I still remember it is because after the movie, my brother was like, hey, let's go to the park. I'm like, what? He's 16. I think I'm like 13 or going to be 13. And I was like, go to the park? What's he talking about? We've been to the park since we were kids. And he like, we're just hanging out in the park. And I was like, okay, he's making it so I can't go home. Oh my God, there's a surprise party for me, which I hate surprise parties. When I was younger, I hated surprise parties. I remember one time at Olive Garden when I was like 10 or 11, my parents had the staff come out and sing to me on my birthday, and I hit her to the table. I was a little shit. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. You know, I know you had the best intentions with that and a surprise party. But I remember showing up the surprise party where, as one of my presents, I got the Men in Black soundtrack, of course. And my crush at the time, Cara Fraser, was there. And I was just totally just embarrassed. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it had to do some of the fact that I got the Space Jam soundtrack and I was 13. I don't know. But my cousin Scott, my older cousin Scott, was actually there too. And I thought that was pretty cool. He played football with us and stuff. And it was, that's the only reason I really remember that birthday, or remember seeing Men in Black, because of, you know, the surprise party that was waiting for me that I evidently hated. I was a little jerk back then. So again, sorry, Mom. I love it now, but I was a jerk back then, so I do apologize. Anyway, Men in Black, I wasn't a fan of the latest film. Men in Black 3, it had a couple good parts. For the most part, it was meh. The second one was okay with Rosario Dawson. Wasn't too bad. It came out a couple years after the first one, and it definitely had some good parts. I remember I had it on DVD. I watched it. It wasn't too bad. It's one of those films I can watch again. But that first Men in Black film is awesome. I have it on Blu-ray. I hunted it down. I made sure to own it because I enjoy it so much. It's such a different concept, especially during the times with space police or alien police on Earth. Super cool. Based on a comic book, of course. But I've never read the comic. I think I've tried to hunt it down a couple times and never got to it. But the comic itself, I know, has a much more serious slant. Now, after the movie franchise hit big back in the 90s, I know they came out with a cartoon series on Kids WB. Lasted about 4 seasons, and it was actually pretty decent too. It was a little bit more serious than what the films were even, and I quite enjoyed that too. But the concept and the idea of Men in Black is great. There's a lot of things you can do with a franchise like that, with a story like that. So I'm super excited, honestly, to see what they have planned. I just don't want it to be another comedy. You know, don't give me like a Jack Black or something like that, or a Kevin Hart in as a comedy guy going through this. I want more of a serious take. You don't have to go hard edge from what I hear the comics really are, but don't give me Will Smith funny. Don't get me wrong, have jokes in there. Every movie I think should have at least one or two jokes just for breaking tension. But don't give me a straight up comedy. Give me more action than comedy. I think the first Men in Black had a great blend of both, and the reason it worked so well was not only Will Smith, but also the duo of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones together. Great combination. But I don't want to see that again. Give me something fresh. Take this great idea and give me something fresh with it. And I think there's a lot of potential to do some good stuff there. Now, this report from Deadline says that they're not doing a reboot. They're just expanding out. So I don't think we're going to see Agent J or Agent K. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get Will Smith in for maybe it's a cameo, or maybe him playing the Zed character now that Rip Torn is gone. But this is going to be an expansion of it. Like I said, let's see Agent, I don't know, X and Y or something like that. Expanding out, give me a different adventure, give me a new adventure, something that's spinning out of the original trilogy or the original characters. I think could be really good. It might even interest me more to possibly get the other two Men in Black films on Blu-ray. I doubt it, but it's good. I like what they're doing. I like what I've heard. I like the potential for this franchise. It's a great idea. I'm interested all the way. The 13-year-old boy in me who dressed up as a Men in Black for Halloween in 1997 with my black suit and my super soaker gun that was supposed to be my alien fighting gun. I remember I spray painted my green super soaker silver and then still kept the water tube purple to where it looked like a Men in Black gun, which I think is pretty much what they might have done in the actual movie. I don't know, but the little kid inside of me who is excited for Men in Black, who likes Men in Black, is all about this. I'm going to give it a go. And that's it, guys. I know, short and sweet. Don't have a lot, really. Like I said, I had a busy weekend. But you can be sure the next couple days I'm going to be getting out some stuff. Tomorrow I am planning reviewing Inhumans and The Gifted. Oh, another thing. Before I go, guys, speaking of stuff that I watched this weekend, last night the show Bob's Burgers had its season premiere. And I will admit, I'm late to the Bob Burgers train. I just started watching the show fully a couple months ago. I'd seen an episode here or two throughout the years. I thought it was enjoyable, but it was a little over a month ago where I fully decided to go back and watch this show from the beginning. As far as rewatching, I'm on like season 4, but they had the season 8 premiere last night, and I thought they did something really cool where they let fans draw the episode. I mean, they did all the voice parts and had the story, but they let, I think it was 62 fans do the art for the episode. So as the episode goes on, it's changing every couple minutes to different artistic styles, different animation styles. I thought it was really cool. Great idea. Bob's Burgers just won the Emmy for Best Animated Series, and I think it's well deserved. I'm on this train now. I like the series. I'm hoping to catch up all the way, and I'm watching the current season 2. So that's something pretty cool if you want to go check that out. I thought it was awesome. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know, are you excited for the Men in Black film? Have you seen all the Men in Black films too? Did you think the third one was a stinker like I was? Do you want to see maybe Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith return as a cameo? Let me know. Hit me up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Of course, like I said, find us on the Facebook group or on Twitter. You can also find me personally on Twitter and Instagram under SlimDayspring12. And that's going to be it, guys. So, until next time, may the Force be with us all.